Welcome to another episode of Square Table Conversations where we talk about topics that matter and give you our take about it. Today we are going to talk about whether it is better to settle in India or abroad.
Nowadays we see that there are a lot of people who are moving abroad. Already there are 18 million Indians who are settled abroad, and uh, from the past recent years, 2.5 million Indians move abroad every year. So this is the trend we see. And do you think it is better that they stay here or they move abroad? What do you think are the pros and cons of it?
Yeah.
I think moving abroad definitely has a beneficial effect for a person, and that's why we see 2.5 million people moving out every year. I mean, there must be some kind of a solid reason if there are these many people who are moving abroad, right? I think it's because they get better opportunities, they can get a better quality of life. Maybe they can achieve their personal goals better if they move abroad, or maybe it's just a personal choice that somebody wants their life to be in a certain way, and maybe to fulfill those goals they might be moving abroad. So um, it comes down to a personal choice, as well as I think there must be they must have a really good reason to leave one's homeland, to leave the place where someone was born and go to a completely different place and adapt in that place. So yeah.
I think nowadays y- youngsters are mostly moving abroad also for freedom. That is another reason they're trying to move. And obviously, the better work opportunities. But when you look at it, India has better entrepreneurial opportunities. Instead of when a person moves abroad, they'll have their personal career. They'll concentrate on their personal career. But when they stay back here, there are a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities because India is a developing country. There's so many there are problems for which you can find a solution, and it's easier to set up a business compared to other economies. And you can actually affect so many people's life, not only yours, but you can help so many others lives, improve other people's lives as well. So India provides a lot of opportunities.
And
Yeah.
another thing is, whenever there is an emergency outside India, it's really difficult for people who have settled there for a good number of years to just leave everything that they've done there and then come back here and then start everything from scratch again. If you have a business abroad, or if you're a medical practitioner or anything, like if you have a very well established profession over there, you might have clients over there. So it's really difficult to leave everything there and then come back here and settle here in case there is any kind of geopolitical or any emergency that happens outside. So home country is, I think, the best place where anyone can do business or start any profession of their own.
Yeah. Okay. So I believe the reason for people moving out of the country itself is because India has been exploited already. Be it the resources, be it anything else, even the place of living. You can only see multiplexes coming right now, as in like multi-story buildings coming up right now, because there is no land left for people to even stay. So now, if you talk about opportunities of living, the living condition has worsened because of the population. Again, people are moving out because you call it, the concept is brain drain, right? That is happening only because there are n number of opportunities left outside. Now people go where resources are left to uh, use. Now here in India, everything is used. Now you're just sharing. Whatever is left is sharing, and we that's why the India has more number of imports than exports, because we are not able to feed the mouths of the people here in the country. Forget about exporting, right? So people mostly go abroad with the notion that they'll be able to flourish. I understand you mentioning the point that entrepreneurial opportunities are more in India because it's still a developing country. Currently, yes, it is. So, but The people that are going abroad know that you cannot open a business abroad because that's a task. People who want to be in India and open a business stay in India. But people who want to work for companies or be employed, the best place to be is abroad right now. Probably that is one of the reasons why youngsters are moving in the earlier days, because once you become old, it's harder. It becomes very hard to let go of your roots. You wouldn't want to leave where you've started, but when you go young, when you go early, you're starting from scratch anyways. So you choose your country, and you get to experience the different way of living, and probably that is one of the reasons why people are moving abroad.
Yeah, I do agree there are better living conditions, but it's only in particular in few particular countries.
Hmm.
You say India is very, the resources are overexploited. You see cities like New York, they're even congested, as a
Hmm.
matter of
Yeah,
fact.
yeah, true.
And when you say there is better pay, when you see the uh, there's something called the PPP, the parity, the
Yeah.
cost of living,
Purchase power
purchase
parity.
Parity.
purchase power parity. It, if you're earning, if someone is comfortably earning 3 to 4 lakhs a month
Hmm.
in India, whatever they'll be earning abroad, if they plan on settling there itself, there's no difference.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make a lot of difference because your the cost of living it's very reasonable. Over here, in India, almost all sorts of people can survive. It's not like
Yes.
you have to be extremely rich to actually survive here.
Correct.
And plus another thing, when someone moves abroad is the security issues.
Hmm.
You don't know at any, because you're not their citizen. They will not, they won't be putting much efforts to actually protecting you in case of any
No, I
issues.
disagree with this point. So when you have people from other country residing in your country, you have to be more cautious, because that's when the geopolitical reasons that you were talking about starts flaring up. Because say now a lot of Indians are settled in the US. US has to take extra efforts to make sure that uh, the citizens are not like the non-citizens, say from any other country, not just India, are not harmed, because we have some ties with the country, right? So it is promised from that country that they have certain security. So we put in the effort to get back the citizen of our country that agreed. But it's not like they do not care about our security.
It is not that they do not care, but we are not their first priority. Their citizens will be there
Everywhere. That's
exactly.
everywhere.
So you
Yeah.
will be living in that state of mind that uh, you can be sent back home anytime. There is no
Yes.
the
But
one
what
thing a person
it's-
wants for a peace of mind is security. When we stay in India, we're never like, oh, we'll one day we'll never be without this land, or we'll not have a place to stay. You'll never you'll never have that fear in your mind.
Some of them do. They still do. Because if you talk about security as such, even India doesn't have great security. Now we are living in the part of the country which isn't exposed to all of this. But there are so many parts in the country where n number of crimes happen, and there is daylight murder that happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. We hear a lot more of other countries, but then there is such cases of our country as well. So if you talk about security threat, there it is there everywhere. Security is just, I mean, after a certain incident happens, probably the security improves then. But until then, you're still in the no security.
But don't you think if you're staying in your own home country, you have a community of your own.
Yes.
They always fight for you if something happens to you. But if you're in another country, for example Canada, now they are totally discouraging, even US for that matter, they are totally against people who, like, not totally, but they are against people who are coming to their country, and like they think that we are like people who migrate are taking away their jobs and everything, especially Canada.
Yeah.
And even in countries like Australia, sometimes we hear students being exploited,
Yes.
and they only can fight back. Only that few students who are being exploited fight back, or they always have to run to the embassy for any kind of help that they need. But in if you stay in your home country, if you stay in India, you have your community of people who always are there for you if something happens to you.
When you move to another place, sometimes you have to adapt to their cultures and norms, and you have to live according to that. Like for example, even if a child is crying for too long there, like abroad in US, there is this thing. They think the parents are the one who are not giving it care, or the parents are the one who is not pacifying the child
And
properly.
this has
And
come
they
as a law
uh,
because it has happened.
yeah, and
Such cases
the neighbor can call the police and ask them to like check the place. So this is a norm that is there. So these kind of cultural differences, rules, norms that are applicable in a place, you'll have to follow that when you live there. That is just how it is. You have to adapt to the place where you live.
Yeah. Now you
So-
can't go and make that in India just because you are there. You have to follow it. Once you become a majority, and probably those people are okay with you changing their law, then fine, go ahead, make it your own India.
But you do understand that's a disadvantage, that you have to understand.
Yes,
You
yes.
have to adjust a lot.
Agreed.
Yeah,
You
Because
don't have that
have
freedom.
to. Yeah.
yes,
Like if when you're getting an advantage somewhere else, some small adjustments have to be
don't
made.
you think the problem that you're talking about, which is there, is also here? So now let's take an example of that, of the child being, ill-treated. So apparently being ill-treated there, according to their law. Here, say it is an actual case where the child is being ill-treated here by the parents, but because in India we take it so lightly, now you will just be like, yeah, just some regular normal domestic thing, so they'll sort it out themselves. But the child is actually being in trouble. That's also a flaw, no, of the system. That's why the child services
There are-
1098 has also come up. All of this, it's law is always evolving. You can't be like, okay, now that we'll have to change, we'll have to adjust. Now, whichever country that you choose, it's according to your needs. Now, you know the laws; it's already been set. Read the laws. If you can adjust with the laws, then go ahead and live in that country. If you can't, stay back in India.
And adding to that point, like you spoke about safety and security being better here in India. So I don't really agree with that, because even here in India, the crime rates are so high, and especially crime rate against women is really high. And are the culprits being punished? No. But if the same crime took place somewhere abroad, they have really strict laws against it, and they would actually bring that culprit to task, and that culprit would be punished in time, and it wouldn't take some 10 plus years like how it takes in India. Like justice delayed is justice denied.
They plan to go abroad to study. Once they go there, they just kind of settle there. They don't plan on coming back. What happens, like most of the time, is that their parents are like left back in India.
Okay.
They have no one. They'll have no one to take care
Yes.
of them. And even in some cases, when the parents expire, it takes a lot of time for them to come for the funeral also. There are many such instances that
All of those
happens.
are personal problems.
They are personal problems, but
Mm.
when it happens in a very large scale, it becomes the problem of the country. If we look at that donkey movie that had come recently,
Okay.
if you have watched it,
Not seen it.
then it's like, it's for some countries to get a visa to come to India, it's very easy.
Yeah.
But for Indians to go to those countries, there are so many conditions that you have to know English, you have to know their language.
Those guys are putting in so much restrictions because they don't want people to flood into their country. Again, they are taking care of their resources now after exploiting us. That is also another completely different issue. So what we should probably do is sort out that, instead of getting them more and more people to settle here from abroad, it's okay if people go. I'm okay with people moving out of India, not coming in and settling in India. If you are a citizen of India, stay here. Great. You want to live here, come back here, understood. But a completely different national coming and living in India, we are okay with them staying here. But they are not letting us, our people stay there. Makes no sense. What kind of tie do we have with that country?
Yeah, the thing is, the problem is, even to such countries like India, with great difficulty, Indians go there,
Mhm.
and then they face some problems over there, and it's difficult for them to come back here.
Yeah.
That that is also happening more.
That's a problem. Okay.
More.
Understood. Yeah.
I'm also saying that it is a mindset thing. It's
Yeah,
a
okay.
mindset problem.
Yeah.
That even if that country doesn't want you, you just want to go there and settle.
Yeah, that's stupidity.
That's also happening because of the mindset.
So again, you need to look for, like she already mentioned, you need to, if there is already too much Indian population in a certain country, more number of Indians shouldn't try to go there and settle.
I think Indians should try to avoid the brain drain that is happening. Simply don't let your best people go away.
That is what is happening, na?
Because there is not enough opportunities for we. You know how the government makes laws? It's only for the poor or the rich.
Okay.
And the best minds come in that middle ground, like the actual people who struggle, who have seen struggle, who also can see stardom. They are in the middle ground, like the middle class. They are the one who's always crushed and churned. Instead of letting them go, probably create opportunities for those sectors first. Don't make laws only for the poor, only for the rich. A tax evading thing is for the rich, and tax saving and all these options is given for the poor. Like, we'll give you this free, that free, so many freebies. And who is paying for those freebies? Middle class. That's why if you see the 2.5 million that we first spoke about in the starting of the, I'll tell you, it's only the middle class that is going there.
At this point, government also needs
To step up.
some people. They're okay with people
Going out, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's not like they're trying to make any rules to
Hold back
hold
people.
back people. They're like, yeah, there is
Whoever wants to go,
Yeah.
go. After everything is done, we'll.
I think the correct opportunities, if they go to the actual capable people instead of all the scams, bribes that is happening. If fair opportunity is given to the actually deserving person, I think they wouldn't think of going abroad. Like the actual brain, the people who have that brain, the brain drain that we're talking about, if they get the correct the type of opportunity that they're looking for, why would they think of going somewhere abroad? They would settle and stay back in India. So yeah, I think if we have that, if that correction happens and takes place, then I think India would be a much better country.
It's better. It's good. It can be better.
Yeah. If you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and do show us your support.